looking ass, how we roll. Live it up to the fullest, gotta be the bones.
And so we're back with more good games of A World of Tanks. I find that there's a lot of tanks that I haven't played for a long while, and I must say, getting used to the muzzle velocity and the velocity of the projectile is probably one of the hardest things, as much as getting used to the capabilities in terms of turning and gun depression and so on. But this is one of the good games, and you'll see why in a second. It starts out okay, as usual. This is the first time really playing the T-34 after returning to the game, having had what, 9 months break. But this turns out to be rather nifty. Now on the other side are some of my clanmates, and this is brilliant, right? Canaggio from the AA clan is one of my favorite victims. He has this habit of trying to be a scout and blowing up within the first 30 seconds. I'm not doing him much of an injustice with a survival rate of about 14%, but he's a great guy and good fun to be around, and I love shooting him. And we have a bit of a contest, obviously, being in the same clan. It's very important who shoots who. But now we've got one of my teammates on my left and the other one's gone downhill to cover the entrance there, and this chap is all by his lonesome. And you look at the firing rate of this 57mm, it does put out quite a bit of damage. It's 1 kill, 2 kills, 3 kills. And 4 kills. So we are, what, 2.5 minutes into the game. I've got 4 kills, and I just keep punching out that damage using the 57mm gun with the quick reload. Lovely. I like the T-34. I think it is, if anything, the most impactful tank in the Second World War. Second would be probably the German Panzer IIIs, then the Panzer IVs and or the Shermans. Just in terms of the sheer volume and impact they had on the battlefield. Now, the British tanks were certainly at the beginning of the war pretty crap, and they had many different variants, and as a collective, of course, they had a huge impact, especially on the North African campaign. I just finished reading a book on Field Marshal Auchinleck, who, as you probably know, was the first Allied general to give the Germans a proper beating when he stopped them in the desert. Unfortunately, of course, this success was not recognized in its time, and nor has it ever been recognized since, because the desert warfare is symbolized by Montgomery. What did Montgomery do in the desert warfare? Well, he basically postponed Auchinleck's plan of attack, and did so once he'd been reinforced with 300 Shermans, a number of tanks that Auchinleck never had at his disposal. But I guess this is the way that Montgomery fought his battles. He built up a significant numerical superiority and then he attacked. Auchinleck was criticized for his slowness to go on the attack, but as it turns out, Montgomery was even slower. He just managed to have a better relationship with the General Staff and Churchill in particular, and got his way in the end. Not trying to diss Montgomery here, obviously a gifted commander, but very often he's seen as overshadowing all of the other Allied commanders, which isn't entirely fair to generals like Auchinleck, Brooke, the head of the Imperial Staff most of the war. I'd say generals like Patton, Bradley would also classify as the highly capable generals, and then of course Eisenhower, though his job was, I guess, as much being a diplomat as anything. But anyway, that game ended with 5 tanks destroyed, and we're now in the Conqueror. The Conqueror, I'm not really getting to grips with this thing. I like the gun, but I can get the same gun as Centurion and more mobility, and as it turns out, more armor. So why would I want a Conqueror? It makes no sense. It does seem that the tier 10 British tank has a lot more armor than the Conqueror, so I might just grind for that. You see everything just penetrates me. Even the T20, I remember driving the T20 a long time ago, and I would never ever penetrate anything. But come along the Conqueror, tier 9, 2 tiers heavier, and boom, straight through. Not even using gold or anything. Oh well. But I'm punching out a lot of damage. I went very aggressive, as you can see. Being the top tier tank, you should always try and be as aggressive as you can without dying. So I've pushed up way ahead of most of our forces, and they are starting to fill up ranks behind me, which means I can move forward even further, which is great, because we all like moving forward. Yeah, this 1390 has no idea what's going to happen. Doesn't even know I'm there. Boom. And the guys on the right flank are gone, so we can start with the left flank. Shame I wasn't reloaded just in time, but oh well, he will live to fight another day. Someone bumped into me behind me just as I was about to shoot. Annoying, but we go, chasing the T-34. He thinks he's in a hold-down position, and he is almost correct. The problem is I have a very accurate gun. So, as you can see, there's just enough of a gap. Boom! And 4, 3, 2, 1, and boom! Exactly the same spot. Now we're past the 2,000 damage. I tend to say that any battle where I do 2,000 damage is respectable. 4,000 damage is good. Now, I mean, talk about stats. You can look at average XP, you can look at win rate, and so on. If you were to look at one stat that more than anything tells you about the quality of a player, you look on the average damage per battle. And some will say, oh, but scouts don't get a lot of damage, and so on. No, but they don't have the same influence on the battle as a fighting scout that actually does damage, which, yeah, well, whatever. Lots of opinions on the topic. I guess at the end of the day, you have to take a holistic view on it and look at damage, average XP, win rate, and I guess some kind of scouting if you are so inclined. I'm not. I like shooting stuff. And, you know, we're just keep dishing out the damage here. The E50 is fairly well armoured, but as long as I can hit his lower front plate, I'm fine. He is angling his tank. Now, unfortunately, he's angling his tank in a way where most of it sticks out. I'm doing the same, but I am a narrower tank than he is. And I have more hit points, so I'm going to win this duel. And there he popped his side out. That's the end of that. So what was that? 4,500 damage. I think we can classify this as a good battle. Next up, so this is a battle in the tier 2, T1, whatever this thing is. It's terrible, but it's got 5 shots in the clip, and you can see the battle we're going for about 5 minutes. And it's been one of these frustrating battles where whatever I shoot at gets shot to death right in front of me. And this is actually the first real kill I get. And you can see we're down by 3 tanks, and it's going to get even worse. And oh, 11 damage. Oh, he's going to shoot at me for a long time before anything happens. So anyway, I'll run away because, you know, that's the right thing to do. Ding, 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 ding. I don't know, some people like these T7 combat cars with the 50 cal. I despise them. I think they're an absolute waste of space because you just ding a lot. Okay, here we start laying into him. And we're down by 4 tanks now. So, I can tell you now, and this may be a surprise, but I will reveal the surprise for you now. I'm not going to do 4,000 damage in this battle. I'm not even going to win it. But I just want to show you a good fun battle where now we've got 2 tanks left and they've got 6 tanks left. This should be a problem. Was it 3? 3 versus 6. I'm sure that will be a that'll be redressed, that balance, and I'll be fighting all of them by myself. And here we go. Nice hit. A bit lucky. But hey, I'll take luck. In the absence of skill, you'll have to rely on luck. That's the next one, and my last friend is about to get it over there. So I'm about half health, and yeah, this is the situation here. I'm thinking I'll hide behind the windmill because I am now alone. So there's one coming from my front left, from the northwest. I don't know where the rest of them are. So maybe I'll just sit and wait. I don't want to get caught in the open in a 2-on-1 fight, or worse. Shot me, got you around, bad shot, but then just laid to him. He did not expect that. Okay, so now they all know where I'm at. Let's move. I figured that my turret is perfect in this window because the guns that the enemy will have are not accurate enough to really shoot through the window, or certainly it will improve my chances of surviving. And there he is. I can't really get an angle from this window, so I'll have to take the next window. That's okay. There we are, and we start laying into bounce. See? And that's not good. I need to reload. I'm thinking, at this point I'm thinking I'm dead, right, because he is more heavily armoured than me and he should have a big gun, but apparently he shoots me for 6 damage or something. Weird. Anyway, tracks are off and they all know where I'm at, so I'm thinking let's move again. And actually I'm thinking move uphill and see what happens, just at least get away from here. Thinking go north here, maybe. Yeah, maybe I'll go through the swamp just because it affords some cover and potentially the ability to find hold down positions, which I'm quite fond of. Oh, he's capping and he must have come from the northwest, so if I swing in from this side I should be in a good position. And I'm hold down as well. It's brilliant. Look at that. This whole tank is up. And ow! But, you know, I quite like this gun. Again, now they know where I'm at. There's only 2 of them. I figure, okay, the artillery, I don't know where it is. I'll go to their base. I'm just going to fast forward here because, you know, it's boring just watching me drive. Alright, they were not at the base and now they are capping. 2 of them. Here we go. So this is the American tank destroyer T-18. Ding. Ding. This is a tank destroyer, mind you. Ding. Oh, damage. Nice. And damage again. I don't know what to make of that, but it certainly seems a little bit odd to have that much armor on a T2 tank destroyer side, but okay. Okay, let's go around and take him in the flank here. Bounce. 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 Right, engine then. Come on. Yes, penetration. I understand that this T-17 also has a very good gun, and I have concluded that this is probably tier for tier the most overpowered tank in the game at the moment. Look, he's just, I mean, what's going on here? This is crazy. Now he's turning. Okay. I never managed to find the last one, but I did get 5 kills. I stood alone against 5 or 6 tanks. It was a good battle. IS-7. Now, since they made the changes to how armor works and deflects and sloping and all of that, the IS-7 has come back to its own. I didn't realize this. This is probably my 3rd game for the last 9 months in IS-7, but I was rather surprised at what you are about to see. Now, look at the guy on my right. He's an FV202, and it turns out he's one of the best players I've had to team with, and we didn't have any communications. He just instinctively did all of the right things. There's the first thing. Some artillery, yeah, whatever. See, I'm in a nice hold down position here. Nothing can penetrate me. Not even gold might stand a chance, but you know, my hull is just buried. My turret is sticking up, and it is so nicely angled. Doing! There's another one. Let's shoot his face. There we go. I'm still hull down, and I have just enough gun depression for this particular spot. I mean, it is awesome. The only thing that can ruin my day really is artillery. I don't want to go over that. No crest there. See, there's artillery, but nothing. Okay, I bounced this weak spot. Interesting. Yeah, what the hell. Okay, so see that FV202? He's doing exactly the right thing. He's staying in the game, because if they kill him, there will be 2 or 3 against 1. So all he needs to do is stay alive and present a threat to their flanks. At the same time, I'll present a threat to their flanks, sorry. And the Z75 is just getting eaten up. And they are actually 3 or 4 on 2. So they have all the advantages. And here he goes. Boom. And now they go out again, but they stop. I mean, had they just rolled him over there, they, you know, could have taken him for sure. And let's see. And I take another ding. They're focusing halfway on me, halfway on him, and he is doing exceptionally well in just staying in the game. That's all he needs to do. I did not expect that shot to bounce, but okay, I should have shot his engine bay, so we'll do that next. But look, he's not going... Most players at this point, right, they know they're a one-shot, but they don't care. They go out to get that one shot and get themselves killed, obviously. And it's just pointless. But my mate here, he's very good. Oh, look at that. He's just getting eaten up. I've seen there's a tank destroyer down there as well. That is a little bit worrying, because a FOC does push out some damage. His engine must be dead by now, right now. I mean, what kind of engine can survive 3 130mm shots to it? And he shot, and he missed. I'm a very small target, and he is dead. So, 3 dead tanks for none, and I've done, what now, over 4,000 damage already, 4,500? That's pretty good. The rest of the team are doing, well, we've lost the south corner. I'm not sure whether that's good or bad, but they are certainly getting surrounded in town. We have the FOC, he might be just around the corner, I don't know, but I figure with this guy's backup, he will help me take out the FOC. Now the thing about the FOC being a tank destroyer, it is actually quite manoeuvrable, so you can't just, you know, like a Ferdinand or Yankee 100, just go up on side of it and hold it there. It is actually manoeuvrable enough that it will get several shots off on you, as you will see in a second. Anyway, I'm still full health. that's pretty good. I'm thinking this is life. Boom! The object also dings me. He must have just hit the lower part of my turret, and he realizes I'm about to shoot him. So he does the right thing. He starts wriggling, which will confuse your average player, but of course I just wait until he flattens his angle towards me, and then I pop him. More damage to him. And see, just as I shoot, he come over the crest of the hill, and his angle is very good, and I bounce him. But then he bounced some gold off me, which is nice. I'm not using gold ammunition here, by the way. I tend not to. I think you can... Generally, I think you can increase your damage output by 20-30% using gold, just by not having any dings, really. I do still have dings, as you will see in a later battle. But I see I can get some speed from going downhill. There we go. And face towards him. Tracks me. Okay, yeah, that plate is flat enough, I'll penetrate. So, those were the battles for now. I will pop up another video a little bit later. I hope you have enjoyed the show. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Something you want to see more of, less of. Any ideas are welcome, that's for sure. So until next time, have a good time and stay frosty.